Everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for watching. So today's video is just going to be a nice little update video on the Project 93 GT here that Rollie has. Of course, we're in his garage, and we're just doing a little check-in and seeing how things are going with this car. Also, we're going to touch base on the 91. As you can see, there's a motor in it and everything, so we'll touch base on that here in a little bit because this thing's getting close to being up for sale. So I'm going to have Rollie here just explain kind of what he's been doing to the car since we left off on the last episode, and how it's been running and how he thinks of all the different components that are on it. So since the last episode that we did, of course we finished everything up, got the car running, got the fan hooked up, got the body back together for the most part, and of course there's been little things that you've done here and there that have not been filmed. So why don't you go ahead and just fill everyone in on how it's running and also what other things that you've added to it since we left it off.
Yeah, so we haven't added a whole lot. I did a little odds and ends like Donnie just said, you know, trim black in a few pieces, make it look prettier. On the interior, I got bolts to put the factory seat belts back in it. It's got the roll cage with the 5-point harness. I'm not taking it to the track anytime soon, so I really don't want to have to monkey with the 5-point harness every time I want to take it for a spin. So we got those to put in. Again, with that one, I mean, it runs pretty good. It's still idling pretty high, but we don't know if that's a fuel pressure issue or something like that. The fuel pressure gauge in the car, it works, but it doesn't seem to be, I don't know if it's not reading correctly or if we're really only hitting 28 PSI even when you're driving it, which doesn't sound right to me. But the fact that it still runs and drives, I don't think it's leaning out, so I don't know. It's kind of odd, so we'll have to get on that.
Yeah, we thought we were chasing a vacuum leak with it because we noticed that, like, yeah, with the idle high, and we actually took the hose off the fuel pressure regulator to test and see if it's supposed to. Normally, factory PSI is around 40, and usually if you have it plugged in, it goes down to about 32-ish or 30. And usually when you pull the airline off, it'll jump up about 10 pounds more, so it goes to 40. Well, this didn't really jump at all.
No, it goes to about 28. Whether it's idling, when you're driving it, it's 28. Like Donnie said, you disconnect the hose, it's 28. So it doesn't. So again, it's really odd. I just don't see how it could be running like it runs like that, because I thought the high idle was that too. But once, you know, like most things in that case, once you get it on the road, it's all right. It obviously needs to be tuned because, you know, we completely moved the motor from here to there and just got it running. But there's plenty of things coming down the pipeline.
We're still going to microsquirt the car, of course, and guys, I've had a couple of different life events, one that's still coming and one that's already happened. So content for the channel's been a little slow and everything. I'm going to try and ramp that back up here probably towards the end of summer. But yeah, the vacuum thing, we're going to try and still test that out. We actually used what Brutal did on his channel. We made a, what's it called, a Mr. Fusion?
Yeah, the smoke machine, yeah.
Yeah, we made ourselves a little makeshift smoke machine. That actually worked pretty good. Just to test and see if we had any like major leaks, maybe coming from the intake manifold, something where the vacuum source was, you know, maybe possibly an issue. Didn't really give us any trouble. We didn't find anything. So we still may test that up a little bit later, but yeah, of course, he mentioned the seat belts. He bought a whole new seat belt kit from LMR. And are you going to keep the harnesses in there, or are you going to remove them?
They're probably out of date spec anyway, so even if I want to take it to the track, I don't think it's going to. I mean, they're nice Ford racing harnesses, but I mean, they're old. You can tell that they're old.
Yeah.
Now, the guy I bought this car from that had the 350 fuel-injected 351, and it swore to me this was not a race car. It was never taken to the track. Well, there's not a stock component on this, and every component that they swapped out is all for the track. So, plus I don't know why you would, you know, rear seat delete, full welded in roll cage, stuff like that.
Right.
But after, and that's why I bought it. So
yeah.
I'm pretty.
And also, we used the transmission that he actually bought with this car. We originally were just going to swap the entire drivetrain over from the 91 to this car, but we ended up keeping the transmission that came with this car to use. And how do you think the transmission is on it?
Oh, it's great.
Yeah,
it's great. I mean, when I bought it, you know, the guy I bought the car from kept telling me, he's like, oh no, I told him what the plan was to swap the motor and drivetrain and everything. Now this did come with an aluminum drive shaft. I think it was a Ford Racing drive shaft. That was basically like new. So we obviously were going to use that no matter what. But he just kept insisting, even after I bought the car, because he kept checking in with me to see where we were at with it. But you know, I kept telling him, well, the transmission that's in this thing we were going to pull, it shifted so well. We thought it was the T30 or 3550 that was supposed to be in the car when I bought it, and then we found out. Unfortunately, Donnie had to give me a call and say, "Hey, car's on the rack, and this is not. This is a T5." But you can tell it's rebuilt, and it shifts like new. But the guy kept telling me the one that came with this car was, you know, they had it completely rebuilt, re-geared with a $3,000 gear set. I don't think it was a ProMotion. They're the ones that do like the really,
I think so, yeah,
heavy duty. Where you, I mean, you can get a T5 if you want to spend the money to handle 600, 700, 800 pound-feet of torque. But he kept telling me that that's what this was, and I'm like, I don't know. But it might be. I mean, it shifts great. It doesn't have any issues. It certainly doesn't grind. We just used the clutch that was on this because it looked like a brand new just an OEM, brand new OEM Ford clutch, which I like. It's nice and stiff. You get a leg workout, but yeah, I mean, it drives good. It drives good. Once you get it up to, once you get going, the whole high idle on that just kind of goes to the wayside. It's not pulling as hard as it could, but like you said, it needs a tune. So.
Yeah.
So, and a few gremlins, fuel pressure mostly. I still think that, I think that gauge is correct. I just think it's not one that, I just don't want to run it too lean and,
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, the car's doing great and everything, and so again, we're still going to micro squirt it. I'm going to try and shoot for later this summer or maybe fall. My buddy Derek's already agreed to help and come set this thing up, and then we can work with the tuning and stuff later. So the cool thing is, well, we'll have a tune available for naturally aspirated guys and stuff like that. And I'll touch on that in another video about tunes and stuff like that. All right, and one last thing to talk about on this car. We'll switch back to the 93 here because this car, we still got a few things to do on it, and it'll be on the road here soon. And of course, we'll do a little video overview of it in its final form when it goes up for sale. And I'll leave Rollie's contact information so that way you can PM me or can get in touch with him if you're looking for a car like this.
Yep.
But going back to the 93 here, if you revert back to not the last episode that we did, but probably the second to last, or maybe the one before that, we installed new headers, new mid-pipe, and we left the 3-inch catback that was attached to this car. And when we first started it up, it sounded good. It sounded like it sealed up. But then after a few heat cycles, then what happened?
Yeah, I was wanting to tell Donnie he should have changed the title of that video to Rollie Cheaped Out, because that's pretty much what it equates to. I was, well, if you watch the video, I was over the moon with the quality of those headers, the ceramic coating, everything. Also, if you watch those videos, we had to kind of bore out the mounting holes on those headers, because I mean, I would think the number one thing you want to get right is the position of the holes on the headers, otherwise they don't match up with the heads. So we had to make that work. I'm still happy with the off-road pipe. It's, I think it's 404 stainless. I could be wrong.
Could be.
Or is it 440? I can't remember. But any which way, I'm not upset with that. But yeah, like Donnie was saying, to get back to your point, it seemed okay. There was a few little, spit and leaks on the headers where you can, if you want to throw some copper RTV or something in there, thicker gag, you can fix that, right? Sometimes the good stuff leaks anyway. But now it's just, I mean, if there's any place it could leak, it's Murphy's Law on this one. Whatever can go wrong will go wrong, and it is leaking left, right, and center. It sounds like a choo-choo train when you're going down the road, so it's probably not that bad. But we do have, you can't see it, but a whole new exhaust front to back.
Yeah, why don't you just tell them what you purchased?
So I went with the Rio BBK ceramic coated header. So actually, what was on that motor before, but not the chromes. I like the ceramic coating. And then it's the SVE Off-Road X pipe, LMR's brand. I've never had an issue with SVE stuff. I don't know if you have, but I've always been happy with it for years. So LMR, they got my money. And then it's Flowmaster 40 catback, 40 series. Same thing as on this.
Yeah, but we're going back to 2.5 inch to make.
Yeah, the 3 inch. I mean, you think that ball and socket joint will. Well, it's the.
Yeah.
I think Donnie told me about 50 times. Well, this probably won't work well. I want to save money, and it just ended up costing me more money. So the moral of this story is just do it right the first time. I got that off-road H pipe in those headers when it was all said and done for like under $200. Which, if you follow this stuff, it's hard to get just a set of BBK headers for especially ceramic coated for I think they're $329 right now. By themselves.
So yeah, that's pretty much gonna wrap up this video. I just wanted to touch base here, and with everything that's going on. And again, we'll do another video probably when we get this thing ready for when it's actually done and ready to go up on the market. And of course, we'll touch base on this again when we do the exhaust install, because we'll show you guys all the new components that he purchased. And of course, the Microsport video series is coming soon, and that's just going to be featuring this car as the guinea pig for that system. And should be a lot of fun here. Again, guys, I know it's been getting shifted back and back further and further, but you know, life happens sometimes. And
a lot of life for this guy. He's really checking off the boxes here. Just get out of the way.
Yeah, just get out of the way, I guess. But
oh, and please, somebody buy this thing, because otherwise I've been really trying not to do things like, well, I can get a GT40 upper and lower for 150. I can't stop myself.
Yeah.
That car is pretty much upgraded as far as I want it to go, minus, you know, power average. But this is a nice fresh motor, and for me it's hard to keep my hands off of it, so do me a favor. Get it out.
Just get it out of here. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and we'll definitely see you in the next one.